What is a romance scam? A romance scam is when someone pretends to be romantically interested in another person to trick them into sending money or providing personal information. These scammers gain the victim's trust and affection, then use it to deceive them. They might ask for money under false pretenses or persuade the victim to commit fraud on their behalf. Often, organized criminal groups carry out these scams, targeting multiple victims simultaneously. Romance scams cause more financial losses each year compared to other internet scams like technical support scams. Romance scammers create fake profiles with stolen photos of attractive people to fool others into contacting them, a trick called catfishing. They might use images of actors or models to pretend to be someone else. Some scammers pretend to be U.S. military members, saying military duties keep them from meeting in person. Since they don't look like the photos they send, they avoid meeting face-to-face or on video, making excuses like traveling or having a broken camera. Scammers are really good at tricking people with lovey-dovey messages and promises of marriage. They'll ask a ton of questions but won't share much about themselves, all while giving lots of compliments. They'll keep this act going for a long time, sometimes for months or years, until they think they can get money from their victim. They'll play on the victim's feelings and ask for cash for things like travel or medical expenses, promising to meet up eventually. Sometimes they'll even convince victims to visit them, bringing gifts or money along, only to end up getting robbed. The scam usually stops when the victim realizes they're being conned or they stop sending money. Sadly, many victims are too embarrassed to report it. This is the story of Laura Kowal, a woman who died by drowning after giving $1.5 million to a romance scammer. Laura Kowal, 57, had a nearly 2-year online relationship with a man she thought was a handsome Swedish businessman named Frank Borg. They met on Match.com after she lost her husband of 24 years to cancer. On August 7, 2020, Laura's daughter, Kelly Gao, received a worrying message from a federal investigator. The investigator warned that her mother might have fallen victim to a fraud scam. Then, Laura disappeared, and her rushed to their mother's home in Galena, Illinois, where she discovered a troubling handwritten note addressed to her. The letter said, "You were right in your judgment of me. I've been living a double life this past year. It has left me broken. Yes, it involves Frank, the man I met through online dating. I tried to stop this many times, but I knew I would end up dead." The letter also included instructions on how to access her mother's emails, which showed how her relationship with Frank evolved, and how she was deceived into sending over $1.5 million to a fake investment company called Goose Investments. 2 days after the call from the federal investigators, Kowal's body was discovered in the Mississippi River near Canton, Missouri, far from her home in Galena, which was over 200 miles away. The autopsy couldn't determine the cause of Kowal's drowning, and police found no clear signs of foul play. But her family still has doubts. Investigators are still trying to identify the true identity of Frank. His emails were traced to Ghana, and the report mentioned that the photos he used were actually stolen social media pictures of a doctor in Chile. Laura's daughter believes that scammers, including the person using the pseudonym Frank Borg, pushed her mother to feel threatened, like her life was in danger. "It's the scammers," she said. "The criminals behind those emails. Frank Borg. This person. He caused my mom's death. Everyone involved in this scam, whether they're moving money, making phone calls, or sending emails, shares responsibility for what happened to my mom." Kelly Gao focuses on spreading her mother's story, aiming to prevent others from falling prey to similar schemes. "I wouldn't be honoring her," Gao said, "if I didn't share her story to help other victims and educate people to prevent anyone else from becoming a victim of romance scams."